some more people kind of shuffling in, but we're going to get going. First of all, thank you for everyone who is attending these trainings. These are a huge importance to what we do at UNO and at Movin After School in the mayor's office, and relaying information to the staff, because essentially the staff is who makes this all work. And with us putting in the time and you guys putting it back into the kids, that's where we're going to see our results. So once again, thank you for coming. I'm Scott Wissing. I work at UNO as a graduate assistant for Dr. Jennifer Huberty, and I work for the Movin After School program. This is my partner, Whitney. She is new to the program in the last couple months, so if you guys haven't seen her, make sure you introduce yourself to her and get acquainted, because you'll probably be seeing more of us. This training is a little different than what we've done in the past. We're going to give you some basic information, some statistics, everything like we always do. But we're going to show you a few new innovative tools you guys can use at your sites. And the big thing that we're trying to promote here is technology. And we know as after-school program staff, as parents, as people in general, the more TV we watch, the more video games we play, the more sedentary we're going to be. So in turn, we aren't getting our physical activity, it's raising our obesity epidemic. But we have to embrace the fact that this is an age where kids, especially, are going to be playing video games. They're going to be watching TV, so we can't completely shy away from it. It's going to happen. So you can't just not talk about it, you can't do anything about it. So we're going to present you guys some things you can use at your after-school programs, at your home, wherever you are, to use to incorporate technology to help get your kids up and physically active. So I guess, like I said, we saw people shuffling in. Take a couple seconds here and until everyone gets ready, and then we will get going.
All right, so I can see reducing sedentary behavior. Today I'm going to talk to you about how decreasing some of this time. So we're going to talk about how to limit some TV time. We're going to talk about some facts about how much kids actually watch of TV. We're going to talk about how video games, they do kind of start helping influence physical activity, but then they can also be a barrier to physical activity. Understanding the good and the bad about computers, things like that, and then how adults can help children with their sedentary behavior. So, just a question for you all: how much TV do you guys watch a day? Can you guys give me just a couple numbers? 2 hours. 2 hours? Half hour? Okay. Well, first off, we're trying to promote physical activity. So kids, according to the CDC, need at least 60 minutes of physical activity a day. Well, they're not getting this. Why? Because they're spending over 2.5 hours on TV time a day. A big contributor is bedtime TVs. You see 4.6 times more hours a week with bedroom TV. So, but what happens when you watch this much TV? They have lack of energy, increase in obesity, and their attention span goes a little bit more. What's the relationship between TV and health? Basically, 1 hour of TV can affect your children's attention span. They're less alert. They are sleepy. They don't want to seem interactive. And sometimes on the TV, you see that, it's not really promoting physical activity. And kids, believe a lot when they see. TV is related to eating more. You see those TV ads. It was done in a study that 45% of the kids ate more after they watched TV because they promote it, they see it. They want what's on that TV. It's like Reese's Puffs or cereal that they like. That's what they want to see. That they see is good to eat. So, and it affects your body composition. Your body fat increases. You have waist circumference increases, and it even affects high blood cholesterol levels. These are all risks for cardiovascular disease. But health issues also. They become overweight, obese, risk for diabetes, and heart problems. So, but how to reduce it? We can remove the TV sets, maybe limit the time. You don't have to just completely take it out of your home because, there are some important things on TV to watch, but limit it to them to like 1 to 2 hours of media time, Sit down and watch the TV with them. Explain to them what they're watching. Maybe it's not dealing with physical activity, but explain that maybe, you should encourage it a little bit more. Basically, encourage other activities like walking, riding, basketball, jumping jumping rope or something like that. So now let's move on and talk a little bit more about how video games can influence physical activity. Do children play video games? Clearly they do. A study was done on some children. It was a 24-hour study. They had them log the amount of time that they played the video game. And if you see these stats, 36% of the children played video games. Not, too bad. But out of that, 80% of them were boys, 20% were girls. But girls played 44 minutes on weekdays and 1 hour and 40 minutes on weekends. But compared to boys, they spent 58 minutes on weekdays and 1 hour and 37 minutes on weekends. So boys played more during the week than girls. So those are just some facts to tell you that, it's out there, they are playing. But what are some negatives about it? Why is so much time spent on video games? It's because kids are developing a sedentary lifestyle, like technology. We kind of have to roll with that and figure out ways that we can evolve that technology to make kids engage in physical activity more. Since they are sedentary, like according to the Surgeon General in 1999, 13% of children from 6 to 11 and 14% of adolescents 12 to 19 in the U.S. were overweight because of video games. So that's a big contributing factor which can lead to health problems. Children sit during the video game most of the time, which is a leading cause of being overweight. And then kids spend less time outside because they think the video game is a lot cooler than being outside. So how do we know what's best? What do we do about this? Well, we encourage physical activity, like play an active game indoors, like maybe tag, hide and go seek. Just, Simon says, jumping jacks, anything of that involves things like that. Go outside with your children. Give them activities like explore parks and playgrounds, biking, walking, like I said earlier. Walk with them to after-school activities. That's a way to get them to places, but being physically active. Even doing jobs around the house. You guys get encouraged that around moving after school, cleaning up after them, after they have like a game out or something like that. But even like the mopping and etc., all that stuff can help increase physical activity that a lot of people don't realize. Vacuum is a good one that you can, burn those calories by just vacuuming. So get them involved in after-school activities like we're doing, like local YMCA, sports, and girls and boys clubs, and even maybe make a goal for them. Sign them up for a 5K race or a 10K race, and it's a walk-run, and you participate with them. But let's move on to understanding the good and bad about computers. Well, these are just some facts about how much time is spent on computers. 60% of teenagers spend 20 hours on computers a week. 27 of them, 4 to 6 years old, use a computer. So that's pretty young. And of that 27%, 1 hour and 4 minutes are spent on the computer. So 39% of children use the computer several times a week, and 37% can just turn the computer on by themselves. So they're getting younger and younger and learning how to do more and more things on the computer. But are computers bad? Well, teenagers who have a computer are 68% more likely to graduate. Well, that's a good thing, so we need the computer. The survey found that 3 to 5% of the students have higher test scores in school. So having the computer is useful on that end too. But bad news is computers can cause distractions. There's video games on computers, surfing the net. You can surf the net for hours because they don't know what else to do. They need that advice from you guys. So what does this mean? Like I said, computers can be good and bad, but you got to be able to interact with them, tell them what they're doing, ask questions. The more you know about what they're doing, the more you can help them figure out what physical activity actually they like to do. Limited again, just like the TV and the video games, to maybe 1 to 2 hours per night, if that. So these are just some ideas. Keep encouraging physical activity. Find a fun activity for them. Find an activity that they enjoy. They're likely to participate more in physical activity if it's something they enjoy, not something that they have to do. You all know that if you tell the kids to do something, they're less likely to do it than, they So go ahead and put it into your routine. Make a place for physical activity, make time for that. Make a safe environment for them, equipment that is present and safe. Kids don't really like to use anything that is broken or anything like that. Provide active toys like balls, jump ropes, all that stuff. And be a model. Engage in the physical activity with them. They need to see you doing it because they might think it's the cool thing to do that if you guys are engaging in it. And then just play with children, help them learn new sports, anything like that they don't know. And then, how can adults help children decrease sedentary time and be more active? Basically, parents play the major influence on the TV, the video games, and computers. So set aside time, plan for physical activity, and encourage, maybe physical activity during a TV commercial, dance around, march, stretch, whatever, just get them active, even if it's just walking to get, something out of the refrigerator or walking downstairs. Just being more active is great. And then basically finding things maybe in the local community to engage in. And also make physical activity part of the family routine. It's important to engage the family as much because if they see others doing it, they're likely to do it too. Find places to be active, basketball courts, public parks, baseball fields. Now that it's kind of getting a little bit warmer outside, kids have something new, they're not just stuck inside all the time. So it's good, they can start playing on the jungle gym and all that stuff. Find the new activities and then celebrate special occasions with an activity instead of, doing the whole inside, let's go to a restaurant, eat, maybe go hiking or find something, a volleyball game for the kids, more interactive, and then encourage it, like I said, maybe just decide to post a log on your refrigerator on how much physical activity. Make it a goal that you want maybe 15 minutes to start off with. Make a small goal and then make it larger. So that's all I have for you now. And then Scott's going to come over and talk to you about some more stuff.
Alright. First off, I don't know how many of you have seen, but you're probably wondering why I'm wearing dress pants and tennis shoes. This isn't a normal routine for me. I usually do not do that. But these trainings are all about little changes. So for people who teach school, after-school programs, how many of your kids come in and they have on, let's say the girls, they got Uggs on, okay? So what does that do when it comes time to doing a physical activity? What does that little girl say? I can't do it because I have my Uggs, I forgot my tennis shoes, all right? Little things like that we're changing, and we're reminding these kids every single day. Okay, Nancy, okay, Susie, okay, Johnny, bring your tennis shoes. Even if they don't wear them, make sure they bring them every day. All right, these are all about little teeny tiny changes. It has nothing to do with reducing screen time or anything, but it's just little things that we can do. Also, I get the privilege of demonstrating some pretty awesome activities later that I will look like a complete fool doing, but that's why I love my job. I get to do that, and I get to be happy doing it, and the kids love me for it. So, you can be jealous of me when I go to the after-school program and I get to play Wii with kids all day. Think that's a job for me? No, not really, because I love to do it, and I love to be around the kids. So, just little things to think about. Once again, this is kind of a unique training. Most of our trainings are geared completely towards what you guys can do at your after-school programs in order to get your physical activity in. Screen time comes into play at your after-school programs, but a lot of the times, where's the most screen time being used? Not at your after-school program, but at home. All right, so as after-school program staff and whatever else you might be doing with children, this can't just stop at your after-school program. These kids are gaining knowledge from what we are giving them, so they can take it on, use it at home, and use it as they progress throughout their life. Sometimes we're giving these kids knowledge that their parents don't even have, that they can educate their own parents. You might think it sounds ridiculous to have a 7-year-old go home with some information they learned at their after-school program and teach it to their parents, and you'd be surprised how many of them don't have any clue. So we can't be looking at these kids as the ones we're putting the blame on. If a kid comes to your after-school program and he sits on the sideline all day, more than likely, if not all the time, he's learned that at home. Or he's had a terrible experience with a sport